Hello everyone, my name is Shafi. Today in this class we are going to discuss about CUCM, Cisco Unified Communications Manager, and it's a chapter 3. Okay, let's see what chapter objectives we have. First, it start with the overview of the CUCM. Okay, next function of CUCM. Next, CUCM cluster. If you remember in the last class we were discussing about cluster and its hardware and software. Hardware and software means, so what, how many versions we have, what is the latest version we have in the market, and what version many organization they are using, that's the software. And hardware, to install this CUCM, what hardware we require, that one. Okay, then finally we have the database, CUCM database. Okay, how many types of database we have, where exactly it exists, and everything we'll be discussing. Okay, first the overview of the CUCM, this one. Any idea what is CUCM? Already, if you remember, we have discussed CUCM. It's a call manager for call processing and call control. The primary function is for call processing and call control. We use this one. Means any phones you want to be registered without CUCM, it's not possible to be registered, that one. Okay. And even when you are dialing, that call manager is the responsible to process that calls. So that's the primary function. Rather than that, there are many other things we can be do it. But in the overview, we'll be discuss what exactly this use here. Okay, the functions are different and the overview is different here, this one. Okay. CUCM is an IP-based communication system integrating voice, video, data, mobility, and applications. Okay, to communicate or connect to the CUCM, how you are connecting? Through IP address. For that, it's called IP-based communication. Okay, next, it integrate voice. Through this, we can make voice communication, video communication, data, mobility, and application. Mobility means what? Example. For example, I'm having the IP phone. Someone is dialing to my IP phone. Okay, I'm not answering that call. If I'm not answering that call, after a few seconds, my mobile phone has to be ring. That means it's connecting the external network. That is the mobility. Or it has to connect to the remote network, right? It's not connecting only to the my organization resources. External to that network also it's connecting. For this type of features, we call it mobility here. Next, applications. Application means, you remember the voicemail system, we have the Unity connection. That Unity connection also we can be integrated to the call manager. IMP server also we can be integrated to the call manager. See, you have a CUCM, then other servers also you have. That other servers, generally we call it application. That application we can be integrated to the call manager. Clear? Initially, it's an application. Now it's an appliance. What is the difference between this application and appliance? See, initially it's application. Now it's a appliance. What is this application appliance? Which one? Yeah, exactly. Any other answers? You have MS Office, right? It's an application or appliance? It's an application. To install the MS Office, okay, for an example, this is my laptop. In this laptop, this is a hardware. In this laptop, there is no operating system. I have not installed any operating system. Without an operating system, is it possible to install MS Office? It's not possible. Why? Because it's an application. It resides on the some operating system. Means whenever you install directly on the hardware, it's not possible to install that one because it's not an operating system. Okay. First, you have to install the bare metal operating system. On the top of that operating system, you can install the application. Okay. Similarly, there are many other applications we have in the softwares. That application, if you want to be installed in the organization, you require the database server. MySQL, SQL, Oracle SQL, right? You'll be installing that one because directly it's not possible to be installed in any hardware or any operating system. So that's the reason we have a database servers. On the top of that, we can be installed here, this one. But now it's an appliance. Means when initially they have developed this call manager, it's an application. Application means directly you cannot take that CUCM and install in any server or hardware. First, you have to install Windows Server operating system. You have a hardware. On the top of that hardware, you have to install Windows Server operating system. After installing the Windows Server operating system, then you can install the CUCM. Like how MS Office you are installing on the top of the operating system, like you have Windows 7, Windows 10, Windows 11 operating system you have. On the top of that, how you are installing. So similarly, first you have to install Windows Server operating system. On the top of that one, you have to install the CUCM, that one. Okay. Now it's an appliance. Example, Windows 7. It's an appliance. It's an operating system. Okay. That operating system we can be installed in any hardware and any desktop and laptop you can be installed. Now CUCM also it act like an operating system. Okay. Initially it's an application. Now it's a appliance, this one. So where initially it was installing? On the top of Windows Server operating system. Windows operating system is what Windows operating system? Again, Windows, we have two types of operating system: server operating system, client operating system. Like whatever the Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows 10, Windows 11 you have, that's a client operating system. Server operating system is different. So it was installing on the top of server operating system, Windows Server operating system. That's an important. Clear? CUCM resides on Red Hat Linux Enterprise. Cisco disabled all unnecessary accounts and services. Means now to make an operating system, you require a kernel, right? Every operating system you take Linux operating system or Windows operating system, there will be a kernel on that. Okay. So now Cisco, they have not developed new operating system. Now they have taken the Linux operating system, that is a Red Hat Linux Enterprise operating system. That is the industry. It's actually it's a industry standard operating system. That one means that's a free of cost. Okay, they have taken this Red Hat Linux operating system. Then they have removed some services and accounts. After removing some services and accounts, it became a new operating system. That's called CUCM. Okay, so just they have taken the Red Hat Linux operating system. They have removed some unnecessary services and accounts. Then it's become a new operating system. It's called CUCM. Now CUCM it resides on the top of Red Hat Linux operating system. Okay, so based on the Red Hat, they have developed this CUCM. Okay, version till 12.x we have version 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, sorry, not 12 till 11.x. 1, 2, whatever the version we have, not 1, till 11.x version, it was resides on the Red Hat Linux operating system. From the version 12.x, it resides on CentOS operating system. Again, in the Linux, we have Ubuntu, we have Red Hat, we have CentOS. This is how we have different operating system within the Linux here, this one. Okay, till the version 11.x, it resides on the Red Hat. From the version 12, it resides on CentOS operating system. Root access to the file system has been locked down, making it possible to load any application software on the server. See what they have done. They have taken the Red Hat Linux operating system. They have removed all the unnecessary services and account, and root access. Root access to the kernel will be there. Means to get into the kernel, they have locked that one. Who? Cisco. Why? Because if you are not locking that one, if you are a developer, what you can do this one, again you can get into that one, you can do some modification on that one, then again it becomes the new operating system. Or in a production network, if you are doing any changes on that one, it will not function as how it's designed, right? So that's the reason, for security reason, what they have done. Okay, first they have removed some unnecessary service and accounts, then they have locked the kernel to that one, so that you cannot do any modification and changes that one. And also they have integrated one application. Okay, you have the Red Hat, they have integrated one application. Okay, which is that application? Cisco Secure Agent. This is in a security application developed by Cisco. You have Red Hat. I have removed some unnecessary services. Then Cisco, there is one application, Cisco Secure Agent. They have integrated this Cisco Secure Agent with this Red Hat, okay, for security reason. Okay, if anybody is trying to attack to that one, to protect from the attacks, known or unknown attacks, okay, this application they have integrated with this one. But from the version 12.x, we are not using Red Hat, we are using CentOS. Got it? This is the overview of the CUCM. CUCM, it's IP-based communication we use for voice, video, data communication. Initially, it's application. Now it's an appliance. Okay, it was researched on the Red Hat Linux operating system. They have removed all the unnecessary services and account. Then from the version 12.x, it's researched on the CentOS operating system. Root access to the CUCM is lock. And there is one application, Cisco Secure Agent application, integrated with the CUCM to protect from the known or unknown attacks. Very simple. Got it? What is CUCM? How it was designed? It was developed from the Red Hat. It's developed from CentOS. Clear? Got it, everyone? Any doubts? Any questions? Yeah, CentOS is also free. Ubuntu, CentOS, Red Hat. It's a family of Linux, right? All this operating system. No, it's not paid version, that one. Some services, something you want to be make it, then it's a paid version, that one. Kernel, it's, yeah. Any other? Yes. Kernel means, for an example, to develop an operating system, it's like, foundation or heart of that operating system, that one. Everything which is landing or designing every code, it will be, it's a code actually, that one. The main code of that. Even Microsoft also, there is a kernel. This mobility, is it like call forwarding? Maybe call forwarding. You can forward the call to the mobile number also, or you are connecting from the remote access also. There are different features we have. That's what the mobility comes. Yes. Anything else? Yeah, though. Yes, they change the version every few years, obviously, right? For an example, you take the mobile phone and there is an Android operating system in this one. They keep on upgrade, right, the versions. So similarly, here also versions get changed. Now, if you talk about the Windows 7 was there, Windows 8, Windows 10, Windows 11. Why they are coming with new versions? There are not only security, for the features also. Okay, the new features and for security. Similarly, here also what happened this one. So what features is not exist in the old version, in the new version, when obviously whenever they are coming with the new version compared to the old version, there will be added features into that one, and also security also. Both. CUCM, it's a both graphical also and command line also, we have this one, but the configuration part we do completely graphical. Yes, of course, the command line also we have most of the time for the troubleshooting purpose. We sometimes, yes, troubleshooting we can do from the graphical also we can do, but some troubleshooting we have, or we had to get into command line for that one. Why? Because this is Red Hat is what? Command line, right? So now they have made it both graphical and command line. That will be seen to the next class. That is what? The installation of the CUCM. Okay. After that one, how installing, what requirement, and that we can look into the next class. Any other queries? Okay. Try to understand the class in the class itself. Everything, and whatever the questions you have, get clarified here itself. Okay. Then you can go. You are not comfortable in English, ask any language you are comfortable. Okay. If I can understand, then I can reply. So suppose you are speaking in Malayalam, I don't know Malayalam. Okay. Other. Okay, we'll discuss that. It's coming in the next slide, that one. Eh, it can be anywhere, 12.0, 1, 2, 3, that's how. Subversion. Main version is 12. Subversion is EX. All right. Next, the function of CUCM. The primary function is what? Call processing, right? Call processing means what? If the call is coming to whenever you are dialing any number from the phone, it has to be processed. Who is going to process? CUCM. That's what call processing. Signaling and device control. Signaling means what? To make a call, signaling is very important, right? For an example, I am calling from phone A to phone B. Okay. I'm calling from phone A. It's signaling to call manager, right? Now, call manager has to signal to phone B. That phone is ringing, that one. That is what signaling here. And device control. Device control means what? Controlling. Whether what type of number you are dialing, what features you can able to be accessed or you don't have. That is what the privileges. Okay. That is what device control or call control. Okay. Dial plan administration. Dial plan administration means when you're dialing, we have a different types of numbers. We have what? Different types of number. Example, you have emergency number. It comes in 3 digit. Local number. It comes in 7 or 8 digit. Okay. National number. It comes in 10 digit. Mobile number. It comes in 10 digit. Toll free number. It comes in again in 10 digit. International number. It comes in 11, 12, 13 digit. Fax number. Internal. This is how we have a different types of numbers. Okay. If you want to reach all this type of numbers, you have to be configure that one, right? Simply you are dialing, the call manager is not a human being, right? To process that one. It's a machine actually. Okay. So how exactly it has to connect as per your business requirement? Okay. You had to configure all this type of numbers. For this, we call it dial plan administration. Okay. All types of number you can be configure that one. Next, phone feature administration. Yes. Features we can be configure. Call forward, call transfer. Okay. Or call pickup. Call pickup is we are into one team. Someone is dialing to his phone, okay, but he's not available on the desk to receive. Okay. I'm sitting in my desk. Now I want to receive that call. Now to receive that call, instead of walking to that desk, I can answer from my phone itself. The phone is ringing, other user's phone is ringing. Now I had to walk to answer that phone. I had to walk to his desk to answer the call. Instead of that one, what I can do this one, from my phone only, I can answer that call. That is called call pickup. This is called features. Okay. So call forward, call transfer, call pickup, okay, extension mobility, SNR, single number reachability. Okay, all these are the different hunt pilot we have. There are different features we have this one. If you want to be configured as per the requirement, you can configure the phone feature, that one. Next, directory services. Yes, what you can do this one, directory services means you want to be search the user. Now you know one user, but you don't know that user's number, extension number. You can search with the first name, last name, initial name, something. Okay, you can be access the directory services. Directory means what? Where you'll be contain the name and phone number, right? That is what the information you can be get it. Next, backup and restore tools. Means CUCM you have. So within the CUCM means we have a tool called backup. You can backup and something got crash or something is not working, it got deleted, then again we can be restore it, that one. So these are the functions of primary functions of CUCM. Now every day, you take any type of server in an organization, every day they take the backup. That's a scheduled backup. That's what in the backup we have types: manual backup, scheduled backup. This is how we have this one. Every organization, any domain, any application, there will be a backup. Something, for an example, server got crashed, then all the data it loses, right? Then how you'll get it, that data? Everything, yes, everything they want to be backup, that one, every day. Depend on the organization. Sometimes they go with every day, sometimes they go with thrice in a week. You have both. Most of the time, almost every time, every organization, they go with schedule backup. That is called schedule. This happens on the off hours. Off hours means, okay, on night, most of the time it will be night. Off hour, there will be no much users will be logging, right? Because when it is taking the backup, so the utilization of the server, like memory utilization and CPU utilization, it takes high. Okay, so that's the reason on most of the time. Okay, I can say almost every time, any organization, if they want to run this type of task, they go in off hours. Every day, night 2 o'clock, it get backup. That's what. Clear? Anything else? That's a function of CUCM. Next, very important cluster. CUCM cluster. Okay, so maximum how many IP phones we can be registered in one cluster? Maximum how many IP phones we can be registered in one cluster?
40,000.
Okay. Maximum how many phones we can be registered in one cluster? You answered to my question. No, I'm asking for everyone, online, offline, everyone.
Sir, 40,000.
Okay, generally what happened? So the first question is cluster. You'll be expecting that one in one server, how many? But again, I'm repeating the same question. So I'm just checking your this one, whether you guys are a good listener or not. Okay. So let's see that one. What is the cluster? How many types of clusters we have? What is the difference between all these things? Okay. You have the CUCM. Now you are installing the CUCM. Okay. Installation will be there. I'll show you that installation also. And also we'll be looking to the what exactly the requirement comes into the next class. This is my first server I'm installing. The first server, if you install the CUCM, it's called publisher. It's called what? Publisher. The very first server. In general, cluster means what? Group, combining. CUCM cluster means a group of CUCM servers. Cluster means what? A group of CUCM server. That means you don't have one single CUCM. You have multiple CUCM. The very first server, whenever you are installing, it's called publisher. After that, you can install any server. It's called subscribers. After that, whatever the server you are installing, right? It's called what? Subscribers. Subscribers. Clear? The very first server is the publisher. After that, you install any server, it's called subscriber. Okay. Now, in a single cluster, maximum how many servers we can place? 20 servers we can place. In a one single server, maximum how many servers we can place? 20 servers. Means when you are making a CUCM cluster, in that cluster, maximum how many CUCM servers we can place? 20 servers we can place the maximum. Got it? In that, one publisher, remaining all are subscribers. Got it? Okay. Now, in one single CUCM server, how many IP phones we can be registered? maximum 10,000 IP phones we can be registered. Not possible. We don't have an option to be registered more than 10,000. Got it? But in this, out of 20 servers, okay, out of this 20 servers, one server is the publisher, pub. 8 servers are the call processing server subscriber. How many? Sub. Okay. One publisher, 8 call processing subscriber. The remaining 11 servers are optional. This is how the concept we have in the cluster. In a one cluster, maximum 20 servers we can place. The one is the publisher, 8 is the call processing subscriber, and 11 is the optional servers. Got it? Optional means it's an optional. If you want, you can keep it. If you don't want, you can leave it that one. But still, you have an option to keep the. Yeah, that's the standard, that one. Okay. Now, what is this publisher mean? The very first server is the publisher. What is this 8 call processing subscribers? Means now you have an IP phone, right? IP phones are there. You have an IP phone. Always we register the IP phone in the subscribers. Where we register the IP phones? Subscribers, not on a publisher. Always IP phones get registered in subscriber server. Clear? Now, out of 20 servers, 8 server will be act as a call processing subscriber. Now, which server will be act as a call processing subscriber? Because example, consider 20 servers you have. By default, the very first server is the publisher. Now, out of 19 servers, which server is going to act as a call processing server? Okay, we have one service called call manager. Call manager, it's a service name, or you can also call it as CCM.exe, Cisco call manager. Okay, call manager or CCM.exe. This is the service. In which server you are activating this service, that will act as call processing server. Now there is no condition that one in which server you have to be activate. Out of 19, you take it any server and you can activate. Out of 18, any server you can activate. There is no question that one second, third, fourth should be act as a call processing server. No. Yes, by default, the very first server is the publisher. After that one, all are subscribers. Now, you take any 8 servers, sorry, any server out of 19, you can activate this service. Now, in which server you have activated this call manager service, that is your call processing server, subscriber. Now, IP phones you are registering under the call processing subscriber. Where you are going to register? On call processing subscriber, the IP phones is going to be registered. Clear? Got it? Okay. Now, this service you can be activate maximum in 8 servers. 19 you have, right? All the 19, it's not possible to activate. You can activate only in 8 servers. What happens if you activate in the 9th server? It will not work. You can activate. It will not give any error, but it will not work because the architecture is designed such a way. Because everything, you take anything, software, hardware, it can be anything. And the backend, there will be architecture to that, right? The architecture doesn't support. Okay. 9 server you can go, you can activate. Yes, it takes, but it will not work. Okay. Again, there are different concept configuration. We have that one. So Generally, it will not work. Simply, again, simply just we are activating and we are not registering that one. There is again the concept of CUCM group and everything we have. That server should be added into that CUCM group, then only it works, that one. So what? Optional. For an example, you want to be, there are some services we have or features we have. Example, media resource we have. Okay. Now you want to activate that service on optional server. TFTP server we have. You want to activate on the separate server. Okay. For load sharing. Okay. The 11 optional we have, right? That's for the load sharing. Okay. I don't want to keep all the load in one single server or two servers. Okay. Some services I'm giving to other servers so that it will be work. But that it works all the 11 server, but not to register the phones. Other services, other features. That's what media resources, TFTP, music on hold. This type. It's not audio data. That's other services we have this one. Now, if you ask me what is media resources, it's not possible for me to explain in this class. Again, if I explain also, you will not understand. Kidding? Mm. We had to rebuild. I'll come back on that one. Okay. Clear? Maximum 8 servers we can be activate this call manager service, and which server you have activated, that will be act as a call processing subscriber. Clear? Okay. Now IP phones we are registering on the call processing subscriber here, not on a publisher. Clear? Any doubts, any questions? Okay. Now out of this 8 subscribers, call processing subscribers, only 4 will be act as an active servers. The remaining 4 will be backup. Okay. Only 4 will be act as a active and the remaining 4 will be act as backup. Okay. Now here the concept of redundancy comes. Suppose one server goes down, another server, the backup you have, right? Here it comes on that one. I'll come back. Wait, let me complete. Okay. So 4 active servers, 4 backup servers we have here in this one. Huh? Yeah, it will be the same thing. Memory in the sense resources, we can say that one. Example, RAM, hard disk, CPU, it will be a same. Yeah, it will be a same for that. Okay. So 4 active servers, 4 backup server, we have this one. Maximum only 4 active. You want to make it 5 active, we don't have the, again, architecture will not support. Okay. Now out of 8, which one you can make it as an active server? No condition. Again, you can take it any server as active. Call manager service to make it the subscriber as a call processing subscriber. Again, in the out of 8 call processing subscriber, to make it active, you can take it any server and you can make it as an active. Here example, I just written 4 here, first 4. No condition, that one. You can take any server and you can make it as an active, that one. Okay. How you can make it that as an active and backup, that we have a lab, we can do it, that one, when we register the IP phones. Clear? When we register the IP phones, we have to make it that one. So in that, we'll be discussed in detail about that active and backup. Got it? As if now you just understand 8 subscribers are there call processing. Out of 8, 4 are active, 4 are backup. Clear? Now IP phones will be registered always in the active servers. If the active is not there, then it goes to the backup. Clear? Now, one single server, how many IP phones we can be registered? 10,000. How many active servers we have? 4 active servers we have. So totally how many IP phones we can be registered? 40,000. Now you got it? How in a cluster 40,000 IP phones we can be registered based on this active servers. So on the first day, if you are asking any doubt, is it possible to explain all these things? That's all. Clear? So in one single server, maximum 10,000 IP phones we can be registered. 4 active servers we have. So 10,000 into 4, 40,000. In one single cluster, maximum 40,000 IP phones we can be registered. Clear? Got it? What is subscriber? What is active? What is backup? What is optional server? What is a call processing subscriber and everything? Any doubts? Any questions? No, it's not mandatory. That's the maximum. That's the maximum. You want to keep it one also, you can keep it. You want to keep it two also, you can keep it that one. That's not a mandatory. Communication means CUCM because phones register, other features, connectivity. What data? Example. Give me example. Data means what data? You want to store email? For that, email server is required. You how you have an option, but nobody is going to install 20 servers. I have never seen in any organization that one they have installed the 20 server. That's a capability, right? Now your laptop capacity is 50 GB. Okay. If you want, you can install it 50 GB that one. It doesn't mean that one. It's a mandatory that you have to install the 50 GB that one. That is the limitation of the cluster. Got it? Everything is different. Yeah. This is for CUCM. You don't bring it that data something into here. It's completely voice and video. Okay. Where is data? Again, what type of data? Again, IP phone information also a data that stores in the CUCM. That is what I'm asking. Data means what data? File system, file server will be there. Yes, there will be a separate. For printers are there. Print server will be a different. Application server is different. Active Directory is different. DNS is different. DHCP is different. These are different servers. IMP is different server. We are discussing about the CUCM. We are not discussing about the Unity connection or IMP server or any other server. Here we are discussing about which server? CUCM. Yeah. Yeah. That's what optional. Optional means there are some, no, it's not like a case of fail or something like that. We don't have like that one. 8 means 8 only. In the 8, only 4 you are using as active, right? Other 4 you are using as a backup. Okay, you have already backup you have. So you're telling that one out of 8, even if the backup fail, can we keep it another 2, 3 backup? No, it's not, it will not work like that. Okay, it's not like that one. Okay. So even for an example, you have 4 active, 4 backup. Another 2 server you are keeping as a backup. Means when you are keeping as a backup, what happened this one? Phones will not get registered on that one. Simply you have to run that application. When you are running the application simply, it's like, extra player. More space is required, more power consumption. Unnecessary, it will be running all the resources that one. There is no use of that one. If you are running also, there is no use of that one. Okay, because all of a sudden, all the servers will not goes down. Right? Suppose if one server is down, anyhow we have the backup, it will be working. Then what the engineers will be doing? They have to troubleshoot and they have to rebuild. That's the reason they are hiring for us, right? Why they are hiring the engineers? That's the reason. So simply they cannot keep it. Okay, I'll keep it all the 20. Okay. Whenever if something is not working, I'll take it this 2 servers and I'll be working. It will not work like that. It's not only in this CUCM, you take any domain, they'll not make it like this. Simply running that server's application unnecessary. Uh, what happened? You require space, you require hardware, you require software. Then for that one, space is required. Then power consumption will be there. So it's expensive, right? Nobody will make it like this. Yeah, standard is like that. Yeah, 4. That is the maximum. Hmm? No, you don't have. You make it a 5 means it will not support the architecture. It will be designed like that one. It will not support that one. That's all. Okay. Clear? The call processing subscriber. Now, what is this publisher is doing now? Huh? Now, whatever the database we have right here in the subscriber, it is having only read access. If you log into the subscriber, any subscriber, call processing or normal subscriber, if you log in, only read access you have. If you have a read access, is it possible to register the IP phone? Is it possible to activate services? Is it possible to delete something? Is it possible to modify something? Nothing happens. Read means what? You just log in and you can have a look. That's it. But publisher, you have the read and write access. Okay. And all the configuration done in publisher, not on a subscriber. Subscriber, we just install and keep it. That's it. But all the configurations, you want to activate, deactivate, stop, start any services. You want to register the phones. You want to create the users. You want to create the features. You want to associate that features to the user, or you want to delete, or you want to modify. It can be anything. Everything is done under the publisher, because in the publisher, we have the read and write access to the database. Once you done here, automatically it will be replicated to the publisher. Okay. Once you have done that on the publisher, automatically it will be replicated to the subscribers. This is how it works. So that's any server, not only active backup, other remaining 11 also you have, right? Any server you take, you have only read access. Okay, write access we have only on publisher, and all the configuration will do on the publisher, and automatically it will be replicated to the subscribers. We are activating from publisher to subscriber. You can activate. You'll get an option which server you want to activate. You just select that server and get into that one, and you can activate. And one more thing, in the cluster, when you are building in all the cluster, it should be same version. It's not like a publisher 12, subscriber 10. We don't have like that. It should be same version. Yes. These are the individual server. Publisher is the one server. Subscriber is the another server. Everything we do it under the publisher only. Central administration. Okay, not required to log in every subscriber. Always you log into the publisher. Okay, from here you will be doing everything. You are not going, okay, what is publisher 1? What is publisher 5? What is publisher 7? You will be not doing multiple logins. You just logging to the publisher, doing everything here in the publisher, and automatically it get replicated to the subscribers, the database. No, that physically that server is crashed, right? That you have to rebuild that one. Okay. Crash in the sense means it's completely down. Again, you have to install, right? Rebuild, right? That you have to do it. Getting the point? That you have to do it. No redundancy. No redundancy. No, nothing happened. No, if the publisher goes down, nothing happened. Why? Because where the phones are registered? Subscriber, right? So if the publisher goes down, it will not affect to anything to the calls, because calls are routing from the subscriber. But publisher goes down, configuration is not possible to do it. That's it, right? So by that time, you are going to be rebuild that servers. Yeah, that's something. If subscriber goes down, then it affects. Because phones are registered where? Subscriber, that one. So subscriber, we have backup again. We have active and backup. My phone is registered in the active server. If the active goes down, backup comes again. If both active backup goes down, then it affects. Okay. Clear? Again, other things are there in that. We'll be discussing when we register the IP phone. How that active backup comes, how it will get registered and everything. We'll look into that. Clear? What is publisher? What is subscriber? Call processing subscriber? In how you can make it as a call processing subscriber, what is an active, what is in a backup, in one single server, how many IP phones we can be registered, in a cluster maximum, how many, 40,000, how we got it, this one, okay, what is the database, read access and read write access, and what is publisher, differences, you got it? This is very important. Sometimes they'll ask in the interview. Okay, you should have very good knowledge on this one. Clear? Leave it about that gateway. Now we are discussing about the CUCM. So stick to the CUCM now. Okay, that is another component. Now, like, see, I'm taking routing class. In the routing class, you are asking about the switching doubt. We'll come back. So, okay. So after completion of the CUCM, I will come to the gateway. So there is a sequence. So I'm explaining number 3 now. You are asking about number 9. Okay. So in between 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is there. I'll explain that one. Don't worry. Anything else? Online? Only offline, they are asking the doubts, questions. Online, are you guys sleeping?
No, sir.
You are not sleeping.
No, sir.
Clear? This is about CUCM cluster. Let's see what points we have, which I have already explained you. Cluster is a group of CUCM server to scale several thousands of endpoints, right? Why we are making this cluster? There are many reasons. To scale endpoint means if you go only one server, maximum how many IP phones you can be registered? 10,000. But you want to register more than 10,000, then one more server has to be installed. When you are installing one more server, it becomes cluster. Okay. Next, it provides redundancy, right? So for example, my phone is registered in server 1. If the server 1 goes down, there is another backup server, redundancy, in case of network or server failure, and provides central point of administration, right? When you have a cluster, centrally you can manage and everything that one. Okay, CUCM clusters contain totally 20 servers. How many servers? 20, of which one publisher server and maximum of 8 call processing subscriber. Okay, nodes running the Cisco call manager service means in which server you have activated the Cisco call manager service, that server will be act as a call processing subscriber, and rest means remaining server or optional for TFTP media resources. This is how you want to use, you can use it. Optional. But you go to any organization, no one is going to be installed 20 servers. No, 3, 4, 5, 6, it will be there. 8 is there, 9 is there. Okay. Uh, one publisher is there. Depend on how many users. Example, you take it some banking. Banking, there are hundreds of users are there, right? Example, HSBC. HSBC is the banking. So in multiple countries, they have the branches, multiple users are there. In that scenario, they go with multiple clusters. Okay. In each cluster, it will be contain 20,000, 30,000, 40,000 IP phones. In that scenario, obviously, they had to go with one publisher and 8 subscribers. They had to go this one. Example, companies like 3,000 users, 2,000 users, 4,000 users are there. Then in that scenario, you can go 2 server, 3 server, you can go that one. Yeah, you had to make it cluster. Even for 1,000 users also, you have to make it cluster. Minimum 2 servers are required. Yeah, backup is required. This one. There are 2 types of CUCM clusters. Now we have discussed what is a cluster, right? Everyone is aware. Okay. what is publisher, subscriber, call processing, what exactly active, backup, everything. Now we have how many types of clusters? Two types are. One is the standard cluster. Another one is the mega or super cluster. Okay, not star cluster, mega star or superstar. Okay, now it's a movie season now, right? I think a few Telugu and Tamil movies got released, I think. Okay, so it's a not mega star or superstar, it's a mega or super cluster and standard cluster we have. What is the difference between this and this? It's very simple. Already we have discussed about this one. In the standard cluster, maximum 20 servers we can place. How many? 20. Out of 20, one is the pub, 8 sub, 11 optional, right? This is how we have. Already, I'm not explaining what is this pub, sub, and everything. In the mega cluster, 21 servers we can place. How many? 21. And another thing, in this maximum 40,000 IP phones we can be registered. How many? 40,000. Here, 21 servers we can place. Out of this, one pub, 16 subscribers, and 2 TFTP, 2 optional. Here we can register 80,000 IP phones. Double to the 40,000. I'll come back. TFTP, we'll discuss later that one. Okay. Whenever you register the IP phone in CUCM, actually the database of CUCM you have, right? That's, sorry, not CUCM, the database of IP phone you have, right? That stores under the TFTP server. So 21 servers, maximum, one publisher, 16 subscribers, 2 TFTP servers. It's a mandatory. Why 2 TFTP? Because more phones we are going to be registered. Because all the phones configuration stores under TFTP. Even in the standard also TFTP come that one. How, what is TFTP, what its port number, how you can configure the TFTP. We'll see that next class. Okay. So 2 TFTP and 2 optional server. So, but here we can be registered maximum 80,000 IP phones. If more than 40,000 phones you want to be registered, then obviously you have to go to the mega or super cluster. In my entire career, I have not seen this mega cluster. Okay. Few organizations, they have this mega or super cluster. Okay. But to build this mega or super cluster, you have to take the help of Cisco TAC engineers. Already I'm the engineer. I have very good knowledge. Standard cluster you can build. But to build the mega cluster, there are some prerequisites we have. And for that, always we have to take the help of Cisco TAC engineer. That one. Clear? Okay. That's how we have two types of cluster, standard and mega cluster. Clear? Any doubts, any questions? 8. 8 active, 8 backup. 8 into 10. That's how we have. Clear? Okay. The servers running the ccm.exe process are performing the call processing, and other servers are responsible for specialized roles. Means in which server you are activating the call manager service, only that server is a call processing server, other for other purpose, other specialization or any other role services you can activate on that one. See, one publisher, 8 subscriber. Out of 8, 4 are the active, 4 are the backup. You can make it out like this. Clear? Publisher already have explained you. There can be only one publisher per cluster. 2 publisher, it's not possible. This server node is the first to be installed and provide the database services to all the subscriber in the cluster. Whenever you are configuring the cluster, the very first server automatically act as a publisher. Not required you to be make it. You means user or administrator to make it that as a publisher. Automatically it will be act as a publisher. Okay. Next, the publisher node is the only server node that has the full read and write access to the configuration database. Means if you log into the subscriber, you have only read access. Only the publisher having the read and write access. Okay. On large system with more than 1,250 users, means suppose in your organization more than 1,250 users are there, Cisco recommend to dedicate publisher server administrative operation for affecting the telephony service. Okay, one dedicated publisher server we require. Maybe you get some confused. We'll discuss later on this one. Okay, leave it about this one. Now you can skip it. A dedicated publisher does not provide all processing or TFTP services. Means whenever you make it a dedicated publisher, that server will be not act as a TFTP or call processing. Call processing means what? Where you can register the IP phones. When you can register the IP phones, the call goes to that publisher, right? It will not make it that one running on the node. Instead, other subscriber node within the cluster provide these services. Cisco recommend that publisher have the same server node configuration of all other. Means what configuration or what version, what resources you have in the publisher, even subscriber should have the same. Example, you are running the 12.5.1 version on the publisher. Subscriber also should be 12.5.1. What resources you have in the publisher, even subscriber also should have the same resources. That's about the publisher server. Clear? Subscriber. When the software is installed initially, only database and network services are enabled. All subscriber nodes subscriber to the publisher to obtain the copy of the database. Means after any server you install, I'm normal standalone. I have to get it all the information from the publisher until you are not activating any services. Call processing subscriber. In which server you are activating the call manager service, that server will be act as a call processing. And this is the very important server for the call processing. Any call is coming, call is going, everything is done by this server. And also phones are registering under this server. TFTP subscriber. When you are registering the IP phones, okay, registering the IP phones database stores under the TFTP server. In detail, again, we'll discuss in the later TFTP. Okay, I'm just giving the brief intro about the TFTP, trivial file transfer protocol. This TFTP server stores all the IP phone configuration. What is that configuration? We'll discuss later. Clear? The CUCM cluster. I'm repeating one more time. CUCM cluster means a group of CUCM server is a cluster. We have two types of cluster, standard cluster and mega cluster. In a standard cluster, maximum 20 servers we can place, one publisher, 8 subscribers, and 11 optional server. In this, maximum 40,000 IP phones we can be registered. Okay, and the subscribers, you can make it 8 call processing subscribers. Out of 8, 4 active, 4 backup, and we have only the read access. But publisher, we have the read and write access. That's one. Any configuration, if you want to do it, always we do the configuration from the publisher. Once we do the configuration in the publisher, automatically it will be replicated to the subscribers. Similarly, on the mega cluster, the same concept we have, but only the node is the difference. 21 servers we can be placed maximum. Out of 21 servers, one publisher, 16 subscriber, 2 TFTP, and 2 optional servers. But maximum phones, 80,000 we can be registered. So that is about the cluster. Clear? Next, we are going to discuss about CUCM hardware and software. Guys, everyone is following, right? Huh? So it's not getting bored or something, getting bounced, something like that. Okay. Again, I'm not a comedian to do something comic here. CUCM hardware and software here, this one. First, we'll be discussing about the hardware. Hardware means to install the CUCM, where exactly which hardware you can use to be installed that CUCM. That's an hardware we have. Okay, there are two types of hardware we have. One is a MCS and another one is a UCS, this one. So MCS, Media Convergence Server. Okay, CUCM can be installed on Cisco Media Convergence Server. That's called MCS server. Okay, or Cisco approved third-party platform, that is the HP and IBM, and in Cisco Unified Computing Servers. We have two hardware, UCS server and MCS server. MCS is the old server. Now we are not using MCS. Earlier, we were using the MCS server to install the CUCM. Now we are using UCS server to install the CUCM. Okay, now we have only one server, UCS. UCS stands for Unified Computing Server. Server, not service. Okay. MCS server was manufactured by HP and IBM. The old MCS server was there, right? It was manufactured by HP and IBM. So actually, Cisco was tied up with them, and they were manufacturing the hardware, that MCS server, IBM and HP. Okay. Now we were using UCS server, and UCS server is manufactured by Cisco itself. Hardware also. Anyhow, the chipset, everything, they go with some other different organization, they'll buy and install that one. If you take any mobile phone here, so whatever the component they have used, for an example, it's a 1T, OnePlus. Okay, OnePlus means all the hardware is not possible for OnePlus to manufacture. Okay, they go with some industry experts, for example, camera. So who is expert? Okay, so example I'm giving, they go to that company and they take the camera, they go to the RAM, they go to the processor, they go everything. That's how the chipset comes, right? Okay, similarly, so here also they have done same thing. Now UCS, it's manufactured by Cisco itself, this one. Now if you want to install the CUCM, you require UCS server, but MCS is the old server. Earlier we were using the MCS servers. See, Cisco MCS servers are, it will be like coming with the version MCS 7815, 7816, 7825, 28, 35, 45. This is how it was coming. Example 7845 I1. I means it was manufactured by IBM. 1 means it's a generation. H2 means it was manufactured by HP generation 2. That's how it was coming, the hardware. Anyhow, only for knowledge, I'm giving the about MCS this one, but now we are not using MCS. Now the latest we are using Cisco UCS server, Unified Computing Server, which is manufactured by Cisco only. Here we have again series, Cisco C series, B series, S series, but C is very famous. Cisco UCS C series, P series, S series generally they have designed for, they have manufactured for storage purpose. B business purpose, C chassis. Okay, so the very famous server is C server. Okay, most of the organization, every time, okay, every organization they go with the C server. Okay, if you want to be installed on B or S also you can install, but most of the time we use the C server, Cisco UCS C servers. And also Cisco CUCM can be installed on the business edition. Later I'll explain you about the business edition. Okay, B. This is our example again. B4K, B6K, B7K means B4000, 6000, 7000. K means 1000. Business edition, we have this one. I'll come back on this business edition. Okay. This is the link to get more information about this hardware. This is how it looks, hardware, B series, C series, S series, the hardware. Okay, this is how the server it looks. It's a rack mountable server. That's how you'll be getting the racks. Okay, very big racks, and you can be placed that server on that. After this class, I'll show you that we have the servers. I'll show you that server, physical servers. The hardware we have. Next, we'll discuss about the software. Okay, CUCM software. The very first version is called Multimedia Manager. It was released in the year 1994. Next is Celsius Call Manager. Again, they have renamed that one from the Multimedia Manager to Celsius Call Manager, and they have released in the year 1997. Here, this one. Next, Celsius Call Manager 2.0, that's the version. This is the 1.0 version. This is the 2.0 version in the year 1998. Okay. Now, CUCM, it's not a product of Cisco. CUCM is not the product of Cisco. There was a company called Celsius. There was a company called Celsius. They have developed this CUCM. Later, Cisco acquired that company. Okay. If you talk about any product in the Cisco, it's not Cisco product. You take any product. You take wireless. You take switch. You take switch, firewall. Even you take recently we have a collaboration, video endpoints. That's not a product of Cisco. There was a company called Tanberg. Cisco acquired that one. Then it became the video or collaboration something within the same stream. Okay. Cisco's only product is router. Router is the only product Cisco manufactured. All other whatever they have now, it's not their product. They have acquired these companies. Like similarly, Celsius is the company, they have developed this call manager and everything. So later, okay, Cisco acquired, then they have renamed it as Cisco Call Manager. Celsius Call Manager, they just removed Celsius and making that as a Cisco. Okay, see, SCM 2.0 is there. Now CCM 3.0 in the year 2000, this one. Then after 4.x, 5.x, 6.x, this is how they have released. Okay. I think till the 6.x, it's application. Something sorry. Till 4.x, it's an application, I think. From the 5.x, it's become appliance something. Okay. Then from the 7.x, it become virtual. It become now whatever the CUCM we have, right? It's a VOS operating system. VOS, virtual operating system. That means now the CUCM, if you want to be installed on virtual only, you have to install directly on the hardware. It's not possible to install. Example, Windows 10 you have. Windows 10, how you are installing directly on laptop or desktop you are installing, right? But CUCM, it's not possible to install directly on any UCS or MCS server. On virtual platform, you have to install that one because it's a VOS operating system, virtual operating system. But Windows, it support both. On bare metal also you can install directly, and virtual also you can be install that one because it's a client. But again, you're coming to server operating system, Windows, that's a virtual operating system. Got it? I think from the version 7, it become virtual operating system. Means 7 you have both. Virtual also you can be installed. I think in this one also, bare metal also you can be installed. I think from the version 9, completely virtual operating system. I think from the 9 version. Okay. Then 10.x, 11.x, 12.x. The latest is 14.x. Huh? No, after 12, there is no 13. 14 is there. Okay. 12.x we have. Generally 12.0, something 12.1, 12.5. Most of the time they come 0 and 5. 10.0, 10.5. 11.0, 11.5. 12.0, 12.5. This is how it comes. Again, they come 12.0.1. Something. This is how it comes. 12.5.1. Something they'll be coming this one. Okay. After 12, now the latest is 14. Okay. But in a production, 12.x is running and 11 also running. Few organizations still they have 11.x, 12.x, and few they have installed 14 also this one. Now you will be working on 11 or 12 here. If you go to the company, they'll ask about which version you are working. So you can tell 12. Now the latest is 12. Latest is the 14 in as per the market, but company they are using the 12 dot version. You can say that one 12 you are working and 11 also you are working. Okay. 10 it's got expired. Now any company, suppose last year if any were 2022, I think 22 I think till June I guess. June 2022 CUCM 10.x, it's a what to say, end of life, end of support, no support. Okay, end of life means there is no support. Suppose still you are running that one, if any issue comes, Cisco is not going to be support that one. So that's the reason. So what happens, suppose you are running 10, always they go with the latest version. They'll not go to 11, they'll go to the 12. That's how, if it is required to be migrate or upgrade, always every organization they'll go to the latest version here. Okay, now latest is, but here I think it's missing in my slide, the 14.x, but 14.x is the latest. But many organizations still they are running the 11.5 and 12.x. Okay, till the version 11.x, it resides on Red Hat Linux operating system. From the version 12.x, it resides on the CentOS operating system. Clear? Okay, after 12, 13 should be there, right? There is no 13, 14 we have, because I don't know the exact reason. If you know, you just tell me. In the US, the number 13, huh? Yeah, something. I don't know exact reason that one. So that's the reason, but Cisco is the US
That
company,
is
right?
like unlucky number there.
Okay. Why it's unlucky?
US. So that I don't know, but in hotel and room also they will not keep this like room number 13. Directly they will skip that number everywhere. In
Okay, I
US.
don't know the exact reason, but US, they will not use number 13. So after 12, 14, we have this one. Okay. I think the mini Google will be coming with some answer tomorrow. This is the software we have this one. Clear? Any doubts, any questions? IP phones? Yes, IP phones are manufactured by Cisco only. There are many products. So now we are discussing about the CUCM.
Like you said, for CUCM 10,
Hmm.
it's an end of life cycle. So for 11, like, is there any duration set? Like
Yeah, it will be, they'll set the duration every 3 years, something they will be set that one. Yeah, yes. They'll announce that actually. End of sale comes first, because they'll be selling, right? After the particular date, they are not going to sell that product. Then after end of life comes. End of life means end of support. After that date, they are not going to be support on that one. So then what you have to do? You have to go with the new product. Obviously, you have to migrate or upgrade. Now 10 is over, 11 still 11 is there. Okay. So 12 also is there. Suppose earlier, if those who are using 10, they will not go to the 11. Obviously, they go to the latest version 12 only. Okay. Now already 11 they are running. Few organizations they have upgraded to the 12 or 14 also they have upgraded. Generally, always we go with N minus 1. N minus means what is the latest version we have. So we go to the minus 1. Why? Because when you go to the latest version, you don't know what bugs you have in that one, what vulnerability you have this one. So that's the reason always it's the best practice, go to the minus 1. Okay, because minus 1 if you go, it will be a stable version that one. Yeah, it will be fixed in that one. Virtual operating system means on the virtual platform you have to be installed that one. That again next class on the lab setup. I'll explain you, because next we'll discuss about CUCM installation, right? On that we'll discuss how the lab setup, what is virtualization, everything that we'll discuss in the next class. Any doubts, any questions? Next, the database. Same, there are two types of database we have. One is the user-facing database, and another is the static configuration database. See, the data in CUCM, the database of CUCM is divided into two types. For the database, we call IDS, Informix Dynamic Server. In the CUCM, whatever the database we have, right? For the database, we call it what? IDS. Actually, this is the concept of IBM, because earlier IBM was manufacturing, right, the hardware. So they have given this name, IDS name, but Cisco still carrying the same name, Informix Dynamic Server. This is the location where the data stores. Okay. Now there are two types of configuration: static configuration and user-facing feature. It's very simple. Static configuration, on publisher it will be exist. User-facing, it's exist in the subscriber. The static configuration, it has the read and write access. User-facing feature, it have only the read access. Static configured data created as a part of the configuration in the CUCM cluster. Read-write access to this data is provided in the publisher server only. Subscriber server have local read-only copy of database that is replicated downstream from the publisher. Means all the configuration we do in the publisher, once you have done, automatically it will be get replicated to the subscriber. Okay. Again, replication happens always from pub to sub. Okay. From sub to pub, there is no replication. Why? Because we are not configuring anything, but still one data, one information, it will replicate from subscriber to publisher. That is called CDR and CMR. CDR means call detail record. CMR means call management record. Phones, where it's registered? Huh? Subscriber. Subscriber. Call processing, where happens? Subscriber. Call history, where it stores? Subscriber. That call history, we call it as CDR, call detail record. Okay, that information, only that information, it is going to replicate from subscriber to publisher. Got it? It will not, subscriber will not replicate anything. Only CDR information, call detail record. Why? Because the call history stores locally on the subscriber, only that information it replicate to publisher. Next, the user facing feature. All the subscribers, okay. The database modification for user-facing call processing features are made on the subscriber node to which end-to-end devices is registered. The subscriber node is a replicate this database modification to all the nodes in the cluster, thus providing the redundancy for the user-facing features. Means in the subscriber, whatever the database you have, that's a user-facing feature database, and it's a completely read access database you have. Okay. For an example, still the publisher server is not there. Only subscriber servers are there. Call forward service will work. Okay. MWA service will work. Message waiting indicator. This is related to the voicemail. Okay. You will not understand now. Okay. Next, privacy enable disable. There is a service privacy feature. You want to enable or disable. You can do it that one. Extension mobility. Again, this is the feature. Extension mobility. You can log in and log out. Hunt group. Again, this is also a feature. Call coverage. Okay. Even if the sub publisher is not there, we can work with this hunt pilot. And device mobility, this is another feature. Okay. And credential hacking and authentication. Okay. It's not hacking, checking. Okay. It's a typo error. I'll just change that one. Next, CAPF, certificate authority proxy function. This service also, it will be work. This is for security reason. This is the certificate actually. Still means if the publisher is down, it will not affect for any call processing. Still it works. Only configuration part, you want to modify, delete something you want to do, it's not possible that one. Because always we do it this on publisher, this one. So this is what the two types of database we have. Replication of database. Okay, to replicate the database, it use ICCS protocol, intra-cluster communication signaling. Replication happens, right? Database to replicate the data. This is the protocol it uses, and this is the TCP protocol, and the port number is 8002 to 8004. The protocols, either it comes under the UDP or TCP. ICCS comes under the TCP, and the port number it uses. Every protocol uses the port number. The port number of this ICCS is 8002 to 8004, means totally 3 port number it uses. 8002, 8003, 8004. Yes. That's how publisher replication happens. Database access control means how we can able to access the database. What is the database, how it contains and everything, that one. UDP 85 or something. I'm skipping this database access control. I'm not reading the points here, this one. So later when we do the installation of the CUCM, I'll explain you about the database. Okay, I'll explain you about the database in this one. So this is a publisher server. Publisher server contains all the database and subscriber. Look at this carefully, this diagram. About this diagram, I am explaining in the next class about the database access. Then we have the redundancy, high availability call processing. Again, this also I'm not explaining now. Okay, later we'll discuss about high availability call processing. So when we have a concept of CUCM group, in that I'll be explaining you clearly what is that CUCM group, how high availability, the ratio 2:1, 2:1 or 2:1, something you can configure. In that will be discussed, that one. That is what the concept of active backup, active and backup we have, right? That will be discussed there in this one. I'm not explaining, I'm just skipping this one. Because if I explain in there, you will be understand easily instead of explaining now here. Virtual machine placement and hardware platform redundancy also we have. So always what happens, you have publisher and subscriber servers, right? If you want to be installed in the hardware, okay, hardware also we required redundancy. Always publisher server, you have the publisher server you want to install, publisher. You will be installing in one server. And subscribers you have, right? You will be installing the separate server. I'm talking about the hardware. Both publisher and subscriber, you are not going to install in the same hardware. Remember this one. It's a standard process. Every organization, they follow this one. Yes, it's standard process. Every organization. It's not like only one or two organization. Publisher server, they'll be installed in one hardware. Subscriber, they'll be installed in separate hardware. Why? Because suppose both publisher and subscriber you are installing in the same server. Suppose if there is any problem with the hardware, both gone, right? If both gone, entire cluster is down. Entire cluster is down. All the phones down. All the phones down. No communication means huge loss. No business. So that's the reason. So publisher they'll install in separate hardware. Subscriber they'll install in separate hardware. Always.
But we can put in.
You can put, but no one is going to put. No one is going to put. Yeah, man. So see, is it possible to give the guarantee to the hardware? Then so that's the reason. So publisher you install here, subscriber you install here. That is the only the option we have, right? No, you can install 4 here, another 4 you can take another hardware. You can do it. It's not mandatory that you install all the 8 here. 4 you install here. For another 4 you can go to the another server. It's very good redundancy, right? Publisher separate hardware, subscriber separate hardware. See, we have redundancy with respect to software also, hardware also. You have to go hardware redundancy also. Not only the software, but CUCM, it's a software. So hardware redundancy, this is how we have to go. Clear? So that's it about the CUCM, the overview. It's overview, function, cluster, hardware, software, database. So any doubts, any questions before we wind up?